All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening.
I can't see
Making
anybody.
sure I can hear. You will see a mail pop up on the right hand side.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Can you hear me, Shandra?
I can hear you very clearly.
You can hear me?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Let's get going. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good day. Good morning, wherever you are. So we want to come on and just get back to the basics. Shandra and I, we talk often. And I think we observe a lot and we work with a lot of people. So there's some information that we wanted to share and get out to the community
Yeah.
about just a lot, but we're not going to do a whole lot. So first things first, what we're going to do for you, because we know that everybody is busy and everything, if you like and share this broadcast at any point in time, we will send you a recap of everything that we're talking about. So we want you to stay, of course, so don't go anywhere. But if you want a detailed list of everything that she and I discussed, just like and share this broadcast, that's it. And we're going to inbox you the list and it's going to be good to go. All right, so I'm Tiff Marshall, and Shandra Stringer is going to start us off with the good. I get excited. I don't know. Like, Shandra is like so smart. I be getting excited. So go ahead, Shandra. Girl, you know, you be talking sometime. I be like, what is that, Shandra? Huh?
That's the Lord. And gave me a big head to put some stuff up there in it.
Girl, you have a whole lot because you be helping me. So you want to go ahead and start us off with the basics of your 3 C's?
Yes, I am going back. I'm getting back to getting to my messages. I had to turn my iPad off because I couldn't do both things. You can't walk and chew bubble gum. So
I know, right? Yeah, make sure you say hey, so we can say hey back to you.
So basically, for me, you know, I often remind myself why my business is called Grassroots Consulting, because basically I do everything from the grassroots, even before I knew that would be my company's name. And so if you think about grass, you think about the root, it is the foundation of business. And foundation of most things, well, anything, I must say that. But foundation of business is basically making sure that you have, you know, your name registered and your legal stuff and, you know, all of those things. I'm going to name, EIN, bank account, insurance, and whatever certifications that you endeavoring to do business. I consider that the foundation. If nothing else, and I had a young lady come in yesterday to support Cousins and Co. during their dessert time. And she said, I didn't want to put anything out there until I had my stuff legit on Sunbiz. I was like, girl, that was amazing.
That's right.
And I had my EIN in my business bank account. She said, now I got to get my insurance. I'm like, here you go. Here's my card. But it was just so refreshing to hear someone actually understand the severity of making sure you're doing product and services the right way. And so for me, the first thing after that is consistency. And I'm reading off my notes. It says, who is your goal model? Okay, who do you admire to be like? And because I have different aspects of my business, I'm going to say for the training aspect, John Maxwell is my goal model, GOAL, not GOLD, but GOAL, goal model. He has. I'm sorry?
No, I was asking somebody to put that in the comments.
Oh yeah, so the goal model and John Maxwell has a leadership institute. Now his core thing is leadership, but I just believe I'm more of the behavior type of a person. Why people think the way they think, why they act the way they act, and motivation. And when I used to teach at Palm Beach State, right, the why. And my students and I would always, every class would have a heated debate as to, does money motivate people? And I said, money does not motivate people. People, if money motivated people, then why people don't do what's required of them to get more of it? They do not.
Most people would say yes.
Oh, I would say if we pose the question right now, does money motivate people? 90% of the people would say yes, and I'll be part of the 10 to say no. because motivation is an internal thing. As to if no one else shows up, I gotta do my best, no matter what.
Good. That's good. That's good because sometimes we think money. I'm supposed to get something.
Right.
I'm supposed to get $1. I get you.
Yeah. And then the other thing is we have to show up when things are not popular. Like, right now with the pandemic, there's a lot of things that people will use this pandemic as an excuse not to do right.
That's good.
Or as an excuse or a pass. And what happens with consistency says, even though I'm short on money, I am still going to give a quality product or a quality service in a timely manner and the right process. It's just the way that it is.
I'm still going to do it.
I'm still going to do it. And if I don't, I am going to do my dead level best to communicate it. And it's so funny. Every time I come up with an idea, I have to live it out. And just dealing with a customer today has nothing to do with my performance whatsoever. Everything with the Florida Department of State, who I just literally last night filed a formal complaint and investigation with the Secretary of State, because it's some things that they're doing on an ongoing basis. And I had to say to them, listen, this is not a reflection of my work. It's a reflection on a negligent governmental institution that needs to be addressed. And so I could have just said, okay, this wasn't done. This is what the results are. But no, I educated in a timely manner. I went down the logistics and I told the person I have emails to prove what I'm saying. So it's not just sitting around eating buns. So consistency
on a timely manner.
Right. So consistency, I'm going to do what's popular, what's not popular, with unexpected problems, going back to me living and working that thing out. And then even in my personal life, if I told people on a day-to-day basis the pain that I endure from having neuropathy and lupus, they wouldn't believe me. They would not believe me. People come and they were like, what kind of vitamins are you on? What kind of energy you on? And
so I have 100. Even when you're in pain, you like, Lord, you throw that head back and give you some celery juice.
It's hard, and I wasn't always that way. I went through a downtime, and I think that's what caused me to have more mercy on people, because I understood when I had to literally God had to pull me back, because I was, 2018, I went through a very hard time. And so going back to that personal life. So even though I would cry my eyeballs out when I got home, even in my office before my next customer, because mentally I was battling this monster and I didn't think I was going to come out of it. But I had to put my best foot forward. Now, would I recommend that to anybody else? No. I would probably say, take time off, shut your stuff down, but I couldn't do that. And I didn't feel led to do it. It was just now I'm able to look at people differently and not give them a pass on not to, to make excuses, but I'm able to see some things differently because I went through it myself.
Right. So your first point, so everybody is coming in, right? So we are talking about the basics of like business. And even if you're not new in business, this is still valuable information, because I think we all have to do like a self-check every once in a while to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing for the betterment of our companies, because we're talking about scaling, right? And longevity. So Shandra, go back up, tell them your first point first so that they know exactly.
The first point is consistency. Consistency is who is your goal model, goal, GOAL model.
Yeah.
What company, and I'm never going to say an individual. Notice I did not say John Maxwell. I said John Maxwell's Leadership Institute, because I don't think no human being should desire to be like another human being. We are all uniquely we are all uniquely made individually with our own design, purpose, problems that is carved out for us before we're born. So I'm never going to say I want to be like somebody. I will say my goal model is like John Maxwell Leadership Institute. Okay. And so that's
your own goal.
Exactly. And then the second one is going to be courage. Courage is going to not compromise quality. Yeah, courage. And then not because the climate is wrong or not because my customers' needs. I'm not going to compromise those things because I remember one time, and y'all said, girl, you get too personal. But I remember one time I was, going through financial struggle, and it was like, but I wanted Polo Tropical. Now I can't stand Polo Tropical, but I wanted Polo Tropical, and it was like, it was like, I think I had $10 to my name, and they had the $4.99 special. So I spent the $10 for myself and my daughter's dinner. And the food was bad. It was bad. And honey, I wrote them. Right. And my last $10. So I wrote them. I said, listen, you know me, I wordsmith that thing. I said, I suffer from a chronic illness. I'm an entrepreneur, and and I have very little discretionary money. But this night, I wanted a fresh meal to share with my daughter, and I used my last $10, and it was horrible. I know
it was good.
Yeah, I did. I was upset because I was like, that was my last $10.
Right. We've all been there, though.
Right. And needless to say, they refunded me. They sent me 2 things for 2 free dinners. And so we have to, because we don't know what is important to you may not be important to me. It just may not be, or that one little thing could be your I'm done kind of situation. And so as business owners, we're not called to be ministers or therapists, but there is a level of responsibility that we owe to our customers.
So you have to have the courage to be responsible.
Yeah, because it's easy.
We have to hold ourselves accountable for our behavior.
Yes, it's easy. It's so easy to say, well, I'll do this or I'll do that or whatever. And then sometimes customers are not as workable either. And so, but we still have a responsibility to them to produce, respond in a professional manner, even when they're not workable.
Right.
Because sometimes
it's with education, not personal.
Right. Can I use you as an example? Sure. So thinking about, and you know how we talk about churches, and not like in a bad way, but the need for the church to be more modernized, not taken away from the Bible, not taken away from God's principles, but right. Before pre-COVID-19, you couldn't have paid a lot of our churches to go online. You couldn't. Oh no. The Lord. I mean, they would almost but curse you out. Yeah, they would almost but curse you out, right?
Well, I don't know. I had pastors tell me Facebook is the devil. If people want to come to church, they'll put on clothes and come.
Oh, well, listen. I guarantee you all of them ate those words, whether it was through YouTube, whether it was through Facebook, Zoom, Zay,
But you're right though.
So you gotta have the courage and not to do this. Like I told you.
Right. That part. Just keep it calm. And just say, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord. Yeah. Because the church has been yearning for this innovation. Like we used to. We have to be open to change and innovation. Yes, Pastor Gail. Yes, that has happened. That has been said to me.
Yeah. And also, we're missing out on the opportunity to reach other people. I used to be, and I'm just gonna be on. Let me just be real, and I just have found transparency helps people to know that you're human on the other end of that, this video thing. I used to be very black and white. It was like it's either my way or no way. It's just what it was. And it wasn't until I started, I went back to my bachelor's degree, and that was in 2001, 2002. Just 2 weeks into it, diagnosed with systematic lupus, and my life changed. Because I had to understand that, Shandra, there are some things you're not going to be able to put your finger on and call it what it is. Sometimes you are going to have to allow God to be God. And really all the time we should, right? Amen. Because when we live in this way of thinking, we can't reach this because we're focused here. And so even in business practices, and you always laughing at me because I'm like, girl, what happened? What did I do? Because I'm so used to doing things a certain way that I'm actually focusing on the right now people, not understanding, changing my methodology and the way I do business, I can reach more people.
Right.
So we got to have the courage because comfort is easy. It's easy to be comfortable.
Ooh, somebody put that in the comment box.
Yeah, and
easy.
Yeah, because I have a shirt. Comfort calls casualty. Oh yeah, comfort calls casualty. It will cause something in you to die because you have not allowed yourself to breathe to that next level to reach those people that we were supposed to reach. Whether it's through a book, whether it's through training, whether it's through social media, whether it's through I'm gonna say a product, because you'll be amazed of the interaction that people get to know people on. Just today, and I'm not making this stuff up, I can't think that fast. Just today, I've been hearing people talk about CMOS, and I am, because of my health issues, I'm learning to spend a little bit more money on natural stuff and not go to the doctor. And so I inboxed a young lady and I said, hey, I really want to, get your stuff, and come to find out she's a believer on the other end. And I didn't know she was a believer, and not that because if she was a believer or not, I wouldn't purchase her item because I still wanted to try it. But it's even in that's a product. She's not providing a service. But knowing that, okay, if this is God breathed, this stuff's going to be anointed, so it's going to work.
Because that extra.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's taken the blinders off, Tiff, and really
who has talked about elderberry?
Right.
A lot of that is been in the earth, on the earth, forever.
Been here. Right. And even one of the naturalists, Raj, somebody, he even said this because some of the naturalists was bad mouthing people. Oh, you fat people, you overeaters, now you want to be healthy and this and da. He said, you guys should not, he rebuked them. He was like, why are you badgering people? Be grateful that at least they're trying it now.
Right.
You see, so it's not, Tiff, is not an industry situation, it's a heart situation.
Right.
And when we close our heart and our mind out to thinking only one way, we hinder ourselves. So it does take courage to go against the grain. It takes courage and not to be a part of the norm.
Right. That is good because, I have a shirt made and when I travel, I'm not traveling right now, but when I travel, especially on the plane, I'm very intentional about wearing my product. Yes. And so I have a shirt that says, I have what you need, but you don't know it. And people all the time like, what? And so I always tell people, you have a product or service that people need, but they don't know it yet.
Yes.
So that goes to say with people who are having products like the natural herbs or whatever, the teas, the vitamins, people realize it now. So you don't shun people when they realize they need you.
It's simple. You know how many times people that came to my office and I met with them 2 and 3 years ago, and now they came back to me because they were like, so-and-so screwed me over. I should have never left you, and this, and it happens all the time. Right. But that's why I say it takes courage because human beings are a mess. We are a mess. We're messy, and we'll love to say, "Told you so." That's what you get. You can't. Cannot.
Right. And it's like a parent-mother situation or a parent-daughter situation or parent-child. Mama can say, okay, you can go over there if you want to. I done told you, play with them children if you want to, but I know they ain't no good for you.
Right.
And you want to go to the basketball court or whatever and play with them children, and you come back. And you can't, chastise people. So I love that. So if you're just joining, y'all make sure you say, hey, Tiff and Shandra, we are talking about the basics of business. The basics that we forget about, the basics that we overlook. And the first thing she said that you need to be consistent. And actually consistency in number 2 was courage tied in together. Because if you're not consistent and somebody wants you 2 years from now and you're not there, then what?
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I had people tell me all the time, oh, you still over there, like they was waiting on me to still not be here.
It's not, people probably don't expect it because longevity in business for some without people change every month. So you're still there.
And and I use this. I forgot. I think it may have been you. I don't know who I was talking to. And I'm a foodie. I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna be at. I'm a foodie, so I love food. And
Right.
there are times that I'm just not feeling your national chains, like
Right.
your Miami subs, your Bud's
Right.
chicken. I love them
Right.
now. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not feeling them. But
Right.
what causes me to go back? I'm gonna say Buzz. I've been thinking about Buzz lately, so I'm probably gonna have Buzz one day
Hey,
this
you
week.
not talking about Buzz? You gonna have everybody craving corn fritters.
Listen, have you ever tasted Buzz tartar sauce?
With my
Buzz,
shrimp basket?
yes.
Would it be the
Buzz
same every
chicken,
time?
yeah, Buzz chicken has and I eat them with my fries. Buzz chicken has the best tartar sauce ever. And so consistency says, Buzz says and one of them in North Lake, they're right next door to KFC. They're not changing the original recipe. They're not trying to do the original recipe. They're not.
Right. They're not worried about KFC.
Right. They're delivering the same good crinkled fries with chicken and shrimp and that hot grease and those corn fritters every single time.
Every time.
And so that's why it's so important for us to have courage, because when we're desperate, we tend to take desperate measures. And the one reason why I said we have to know who our goal model is, because a lot of times we're so busy trying to peep and see what other people are doing that we lose sight on what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. Stay in your lane.
Yeah. And I'm not one of those Debbie and Daddy downers that talk about people can't do multiple things. I'm all for that. I'm because I'm grateful that I have multiple streams of income, because I'll be out of gas right now if I didn't. But I'm saying you'll know when what's supposed to be right, because it will work, it will fit. Not that you won't have problems, not you won't have opposition, but it still will work. It still will fit. It won't be you most miserable and coming up short every time.
Right. I like that. So we getting back to the basics. Are you consistent in your business? And listen, we're talking about if you have a nonprofit organization, if you're not in business or in the not-for-profit world, in your personal life, you got to be consistent in order to get a better life. What's your trademark statement?
Becoming the best you.
Okay.
The best you. Notice I didn't say him, them, she, or him. Okay. You. And let's pause on that nonprofit thing just for 2 seconds. Okay. See, somebody just brought them some. That's it. I'm going to get Buzz tomorrow.
Tiara's my classmate. I think we graduated high school together. She doesn't live here anymore. I think she's in Orlando.
Okay.
So that's how it used to be. When I be in college, like Buzz be the first spot I come to when I get down.
You already know. But so even with nonprofits, and so when people come to me and talk about a nonprofit, where you should see, I always ask them this question. This is like my assessment question, and they go bonkers when I say this. My question is always, will you work 3 years every single day without pay? And they look at me like, huh? I said, will you get up?
Asked me that question before.
Right. Will you get up every single day and go to your mission field without pay for 3 years? They're like, you should hear the responses. I said, well, then this is probably not what you want to undertake. Right. And I tell them why. And I just don't leave them hanging. I give them off the cliff. I said, because most of the time, grants and donors want to see your consistency first. They want to know that you're committed to the cause before they invest free money, which most people think it is not. You got to work for it. And so you got to have skin in the game. You got to prove yourself. And it generally takes, now sometimes it's shorter than that, depending on what type of program, depending on the culture, the environment. There's a lot of moving parts that's considered. But on average, substantial size grants don't come to year 2 or 3 when you're in business. And so consistency.
Stay around. Same thing if you have a for-profit. If you go to the bank for a loan, you better have your paperwork and your numbers together.
Minimum 2 years. Minimum. They're not even going to look at you. They're not even going to look at
everybody else, right? Well, compared to everybody else, like you, it's competition out there.
Exactly.
So
it's so
important and consistency, y'all.
Yes. And the last one is my bigger one. Let me tell you something. This is like, for me, and I beat myself up when I don't do it, because sometimes things are just it just doesn't work out as we hope. But customer service is, and I put that third because third is really first.
So it's almost like right.
Third is like it's almost like customer service is like the executive summary, right? Of this thing. And even though the executive summary comes first in the grant, you don't write it until you finish everything else.
That's cool. If you ain't got no business plan, then you don't know what we're talking about. But now you know.
Right. Yeah, an executive summary is the first on the plan, but you can't finish it until you've done everything else. And so that's where customer service fit in. You can't do the customer service until you have this. And I said here, it says acknowledge an area of your growth. And I'm very big with positive affirming words rather than negative words, because most people say acknowledge your shortcomings or no. I call it areas of growth. For me, it's technology and systems. I have so many moving parts, and I'm not even going to show you what we got coming in.
We'll have y'all dizzy if you go over there some days.
Yeah. What we got coming in is going to be crazy. Yes. But because we have so much, I have to get my systems in order. Yes. Otherwise, I cannot grow. I cannot operate my business in 2020 like I did in 2000.
Don't work. Not different decade, different people. Consumers are different.
And not to grow. Now I can stay here. And I'm not going to use no negative words, but sometimes we're okay with our neighborhood people. We're okay with that. Right. And we're not looking for global. We're not, and that's where you want to be, that's great. But one of my taglines say serving all 50 states and the surrounding areas. In one of my hashtags, I started using national trainer, national consultant, international, because those were my goals. And so I have to be able to look at every part of my business. And I know right now, facing me in my eyeballs is technology and systems. I'm working on technology. I've actually got an IT person. He comes in twice a month. Tomorrow he's coming in because we're expanding the insurance firm. Tomorrow he's coming in. He's setting up 3 monitors and a desktop. I haven't had a desktop in I don't know how long. Yeah, I can't wait to show pictures. I'm gonna look real important. We had to invest in some laptops that we don't have staff to come in and use yet, but they're going to be using them. So little bit by little bit. So you have to have customer service. You have to acknowledge your areas of growth. You have to accept the necessary risk on the investment. Can I show you around the inspiration station?
Yeah, right. So we're talking about, so Carla just said 100% customer service determines if I spend my money there again. And that is so important because people gonna come once. You can get people through the door one time, right? But when they come back, because we're talking about longevity, not just a quick sale. Just, okay, I got $20 a day, I got $50 a day. But are they coming back? And when they leave, what are they saying about your company? What are they saying about you? What are they saying about their experience? Yes. And that's why I said growth, because a lot of times, and the second one is accept the necessary risk on the investment, because it costs money. I was telling God the other day, I said, God, I think about the money I spend in overhead. I'm like, if I didn't have overhead, I'd be like, let's just be real here. If I didn't have overhead, if I didn't have this, so what does that mean? Okay, so I think we need to define what we mean by scale. What is scalability? And when you say accept the risks, so what is that? Because some people will realize that social media glams business in entrepreneurship.
Mm-mm.
So what does it mean to
Mm-mm.
fail? And then
Mm-mm.
what does it mean to accept the risks?
So, okay, I'm going to use you as an example. I talked about the IT. Okay, I cannot provide efficient quality service with one laptop.
Right.
I cannot. I ordered, right, I ordered that equipment pre-COVID-19. So that was a risk because who's to know when we're going to go into a pandemic? You see what I'm saying? And so and then I'm going to say, for you, for example, so my next thing is systems. So if I have to invest $1,000 in systems to get, my intake application streamlined for training, and then my email list done for email blasts.
Right.
All of those things you can't guarantee me, well, Shandra, if you do this, you're going to get 100% customer return. You can't guarantee me that.
No,
but what you can do is allow me and help me to put systems in place that if I don't get the return on my investment second quarter, third quarter maybe 20%, fourth quarter maybe 40%. By next year, that risk of that $1,000 have yielded me double my money back. And that's how we and I'm not saying everybody have to think like I think, but that's how I process things. And in the industry, and what my purpose and my goal, model is, I have to have these things in place because I will not be around 2022 and 2023 the way I started out in 2006. I will not be. So it's necessary. There is no way around it. And I was listening to Sarah Jakes Roberts today, and she was talking about from weeping to walking. And she was saying suffering is a part of passion. I looked at that phone, girl. I wanted to throw that phone.
Suffering is a part of passion.
Suffering is a part of passion. And she said, we think passion is cute, but we fail to realize suffering comes with passion. Passion comes with suffering because the only way you're going to have and I said, oh my goodness. But it makes so much sense. She says the only way you're going to have a burning sensation or go beyond the grave after you've suffered in that situation. I said,
so somebody put that in the comment box. I'm trying to get on my phone and listen to you, but it's just too good. I'm going to tweet it later. But it's true though.
I said, girl, I was in my room crying like a baby because I'm like, as much as I'm suffering in my business now, that's what gives me passion to want to help other people, because the information and the experience that I've gone through, I can help people catapult light years ahead of me because of what I've learned.
We can help everybody up, like each other. We can help each other.
Yes. And so when she said that, I'm like, my head started hurting. I'm crying, folding clothes.
But it's true because the life of business kind of molds your character, molds you to a different person. You can't operate the same way you used to operate. The way you manage your time every day, the way you manage your conversations is not the same.
Yes.
What you're passionate about, where you spend your money, totally changes.
It totally changes.
Of how, like, it was somebody was like, well, I may not go and get so-and-so every 2 weeks. I might use this money for something else.
In the business.
Every time y'all call me because I got this bill to pay, that bill to pay, this talk what about, this trip to go to, and you're not upset about it because you're willing to make that risk and that sacrifice, but you become a whole different person, like a whole different person. So y'all, if you missed it when we first got on, share this, like this, and share this. When you do that, we are going to send you a download of everything that we're discussing. Right. So as Shandra say, we ain't fussing, we discussing.
That's right.
We want you to be able to get this information because the money is the money is there. The money is in the community. The money is in different communities. And I don't want to just think about Black businesses. Like, of course, we want to do business with each other, but we want customers. I don't know about you all, but I want customers of all ethnic,
of all races,
backgrounds,
reality is it's so much money, and people keep, well, you need to stop saying it. And I'll be telling God, well, I know what's happening. Can you just let them find it on their own and let me go so I can get mine? How about that?
Because you feel commissioned to help, So I think that we have to remember that. So if you're just coming on, make sure you like and share this, because we can see who share, and then we'll make sure that we, inbox you all of this information, because this is stuff that you have to digest and really go back and look at.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send you some specific links to some of the tools that I'll share as well. So if you're in here, make sure you say hey, so we can say hey back to you. And then make sure that you like and share this. This is helpful information, y'all.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna end with this one, and then appreciate honest feedback.
Ooh.
Appreciate honest feedback.
If you
once again, I told you, the customer service is executive summary, because if you think about any corporation, whether you tell them off in their surveys or not, every corporation now gives you a receipt that says do a survey.
They want that feedback, nice or not.
Because guess what? They understand that in order for them to grow and to be around, they got to get feedback.
Yeah.
They got to.
And it doesn't always feel good.
What? Girl, please. One lady told one lady put in there, I have been in several of Shandra's trainings. I don't know why the day seems so elementary.
Wait, say it again.
She said she had been in several of my trainings, and she don't know why today seems so elementary. I said, me either.
Okay, so I would take that as, a positive. Okay, so I learned something from one lady. She's a teacher, she's a principal. She said, grow and growth. Or glow and growth. So your glow moment was she's been in your trainings before she came back, and she used your content being up here. Right. And I guess a growth moment was to make sure that your content was always to that level.
Right.
Because we've been in rooms where I think I've been talking over everybody's head. I think, this is basic. People are like, well, go back to step one. So yeah, you have to ask for that feedback, because that's the only way to get better.
Right, exactly. And so what I did was I started, because sometimes I'll use, and I keep telling you, I'm transparent. As a trainer, sometimes I will use some of my old material, and I'll just, I got that training. Oh, all right, pull it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what I had to realize, especially going forward, even though I know the material, even though I've created the material, I still need to sit myself down long enough in silence first, get a download, because it could be a revelation or something that I need to put in specifically for somebody that's going to be in that next workshop. And I learned that, and now I do that. I've done several online courses now, and I felt, I don't know how good it was, but I felt better. I did. I felt better about it. So every time I do a training anywhere, I take a deep breath before I read the evaluation, because I don't know what these people going to say.
Right. Well, it's true though, because we don't want to always recycle content. Like, I've been on that end where I've purchased something from someone. I was like, well, this is the same thing that you gave us a year ago. And people are paying attention to that. And so, like you said, that could be a new revolution. It's almost like, okay, y'all, let's be honest. It's almost like your pastor waking up Sunday morning to get his sermon together. In the audience, and you gonna know if the Lord gave him that sermon, or if he go online and print it off from somebody else, or if he just rushed.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Miss Seeley.
But girl, your audience is going to know. Yes. And
people be thinking I'd be funny when I ain't going back to my food. I'm gonna give you the mic after this. People think I'd be being funny when I say about food. I tell people, your food have your personality.
Ooh.
Yes. People,
I'm trying to put that in the comments. That is good.
Your food have your personality. I'm telling you, people think I be just saying, what? Girl, please. I can tell when a person rushed something. I can tell when they was angry when they fixed it.
See, you a cook. You're from the country.
Yeah. I can.
That is good.
And I can tell when somebody literally just sat down, just whether they prayed or not, and took their time and put, every effort of kindness. And I just had a dish, and it was from a young person, very young person. I don't even think the girl 25. Wow. When I bit into her food, I was like, you know what? This girl made this with such gentleness, literally. Wow. And I didn't even need the food. I did it because I wanted to support her. But just tasting it, I'm like, you know what? She took her time and she gently made that dish. I'm telling you.
That your food, and I almost say probably all of your products have your personality. You know, people can tell if you put your time with it, and that is so true. And I think that's a part of like why. And I always tell people in my social media trainings and workshops, I tell people, what makes you go back to a business? What makes you go back to a company? Mm-hmm. You know, like, okay, I ain't had Starbucks. Okay, y'all ready, drum roll. I ain't had Starbucks in about 2 weeks.
What?
Oh, see, and I'm still living. So if you know me, okay, that is like a word.
They write your name on your coffee, and you, oh Lord,
okay. So, but I went today. I said I'm gonna go get me a little tall. I'm gonna just be tall and small, okay. So if you don't know Starbucks, tall and small, and I pull up. And I had my mom with me, and I had Ace because she always had to go with us somewhere, and I pulled up, but Shandra, I wasn't to the building yet. I couldn't really see Starbucks, but I saw the line. And I said, maybe this is a turning lane to go to I counted, from what I could see, I counted 20 cars. It probably was more.
That's been there all week.
Seconds later, 6 pulled up behind me. And don't you know we all stood in line? So we have to ask her, what makes me go back to Starbucks? What makes her stay in line at Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A ain't the cheapest place to go.
Look, see. Now you see I always use Chick-fil-A as a teaching tool. First of all, Chick-fil-A does not have a dollar menu. Let's be real.
It won't ever have one.
It won't ever have one. Chick-fil-A is closed. I think it's 81. I think I calculated 81 hours a week. Yes. They are closed in a 7-day period. Okay. Right. And still the top. Can you say customer service?
On Sunday, they're not even open late like the other chains.
No, they close at 10.
Making more money.
Yeah. Can you say customer service? All right then.
Right. So that keeps us going back. We always, when you're in business, right, you have to think, we're consumers too. So think about what keeps you coming back and what it is that you like. So those are 3 C's. Once again, y'all, we're going to send this information out to you. We don't want you to go anywhere. Stay. Like this and share this. If we see that you share, because Facebook tells us, we're going to inbox you these tips and some tools and resources that we don't really have enough time to cover, because we can go online. We just talking and forget that y'all here too, because they just get good for us. Right? We get excited about this on here. Okay.
Yes.
Teresa said, "What? No Starbucks? See, y'all know me. Y'all know I go Starbucks twice a day if I wanted to. I have cut stuff out my budget to add to my Starbucks budget." Judge Auntie. Okay. All right. So let me get to I'm a systems person, and
yes, you are the beast with systems. Period.
So I wanted to just share digitally, how does this work? Because if you're systematic in your business, your money can flow in, and you probably have heard of the term make money while you sleep. If you have, hit the like button.
I know.
If you heard people say you make money when you sleep, hit the like button. So here, look at Rosa. Yes, Rosa. All right. So what we mean by this is, what is the first thing I want you to ask yourself? What is the customer journey for your company? What does the customer journey look like? This is from the first conversation until the close of the sale. And you might
Mm-hmm.
not get the close of the sale the first time, right? That customer journey, depending on the product or service, is going to be a little longer. So let's just say that I'm going to contact Carla for photography. And I want Carla to come photograph me at a speaking engagement that I have. I'm talking about Carla. I mean, Teresa. Teresa's a photographer. Whatever, Teresa has to know what she's going to say to me first, what I must do second, what I must do third. So if, she needs to have it online. If you inbox me about social media, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you for your name, and I am going to ask you for your email. Right? Because I need that information from you to follow up with you. What is your process? What one thing that we have to work on is not telling people to inbox me. Inbox me.
That's important.
Because right away, you're imposing work on people. Why do I have to inbox you for your product?
Wow. See, that's that. Now, y'all write that down. And when you say customer's journey, that right now my brain is thinking, okay, for this service, what do they have to do? For that service, what do they have to do? And that's so true. And when
Right.
when you're responding on a fly, you forget stuff too. You forget.
Right. And so I literally have, and I probably send this out to you all. I have a step-by-step process of what I do with So Social. And here's why. I got to a point where I needed help, right? So being a social media strategist, I had to type for different brands all day, Shandra. So I got to think like this brand, this company. So I can't always pick up my phone because I'm in the mode of talking in the voice of this company. So I had to train somebody to do the entry level stuff, right?
Wow.
And when I got somebody on board, I was like, oh, well, where do I start? So I had to train her. So I had to come up with like new employee training manuals to show her, here's what we do first, second, third. Like I literally gave her, just copy and paste this in the email. Because I need your grammar to be on point. Because if you misspell something, we have to type for this person on their social media. They're not going to hire us.
Right. Wow.
You know?
Big.
One, step two, step three. Stop putting people to work to buy your product.
Wow. Y'all type that in.
I'm not about to do nothing. Give me a link to click so you can get my information. Because you're prolonging the process. When somebody is asking, listen to this. When somebody is asking about your service, you're not the only person they're asking. If I need me a website build, I'm searching. So there are several people that are asking at the same time.
Yes, that is so true.
So I'm going to go with that person who makes the process easiest for me at first, right? So make sure you ask yourself about the customer journey. How do your potential clients feel from the first time they talk to you all the way to the end? How do they feel? What is that experience like? So stop telling people to inbox you, inbox them. You reach out and do that, right? How are you communicating? So think about the customer journey. How do people feel as a result? I leave Chick-fil-A happy. We don't check our bag when we go to Chick-fil-A.
True.
Look at their bag. When you go to McDonald's, you look at it. They give me my meal, right? You know, so that's the first thing. Because McDonald's gives you ketchup, okay? McDonald's got like. All right, number two is make everything quick, easy, and be accessible as possible. Okay? Quick, easy, and accessible. Quick, easy, and accessible. So, for example, if you have a website where people have to check out, allow people to check out as a guest. Allow people to check out as a guest. If you have a questionnaire that you have for people, make your questionnaire as quick and short as possible. Name, email, phone number. Think about it. When I first created my Facebook account, Shandra, in 2010 when I was in college, 2006, 2007, the form was long. Like there were a lot of fields. Because at that time, Facebook was only if you had a collegiate email address. Now it's different. If you go to Facebook now and try to create a new account, they ask you 3 things. That is it.
Wow.
So you want people to get on board as easy. So you need to connect with people easy and have a process. So this is why I tell people, have an email list set up, have a welcome letter set up to where when you add people to your database, they automatically get a response from you. And that can be set up because I'm telling you, listen, people shop at night. I was looking at some of my recent numbers. I was like, I have one client. I'm like, why people emailing about some shirts? And hell, it's 1 a.m.
They do. I
You know?
do. That's why I stay at this office and not home, because every time I'm home, I'm on that doggone phone scrolling.
Right.
And Facebook good for suggestion stuff. They get on my
Facebook,
numbers.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you want things to be quick, easy, and accessible. And this is why I tell people, if you don't know technology or things like that, stop telling yourself that or get the necessary help that you need so that you get people through the customer service journey quickly and smoothly. You don't always have to be there physically doing the emails or the calls or the text messages, but have the system in place and share this live. And I'm going to show you different ways in which you can do this, because we call it systems and flows. If you call some companies right now, it's probably outside of their office hours, but they're going to have a way for you to let them know what you need. Okay. That's why they say, press this number for this or leave a voicemail. You want to have that in place because, again, we're talking about running a legit business, not just, inbox me and I'll send it to you. You need to have a legit business in place. Number 3 is follow up. So once you have secured the sale, that is a win for you. Congratulations. But guess what? Sometimes people experience extreme buyer's remorse. So while you're happy that, they paid my invoice, they are like asking themselves, did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? I want my money back. And depending on your terms and conditions, you probably have to refund them. So you need to send confirmation. Do y'all know how many times I've paid people and wonder if they got my money?
Wow. Yeah.
The system should be set up to where people get an email confirmation, you respond, you send a thank you, you send shipping information, tracking information, whatever. Nobody should have to contact you about their purchase.
Right.
So follow up. Then, like Shandra said, get the feedback. So they paid for your product or your service. You have to send a survey. Go to SurveyMonkey. Have a quick survey. People that you have not talked to in a while. Listen, even former clients.
Right.
Follow up with them.
Right. And I did something, and it's just a matter of time, and we have to plan. And that's why I got to tell people, I'm a business consultant, so I don't have everything right, and I'm learning every single day. And what I said, I am trying to give people the things that took me, I say 14 structured years. That's how long I've been registered. I've been in business over 20 some years, of the do's and the don'ts. And one of the things I did do this year, and people are so funny. I mean, last year, and that's my next thing after I get all the IT stuff done and some of my systems in place, which will be a part of my system, is a CRM system, a customer relations marketing tool.
Yes.
But last year, I actually sent out a Christmas card to all of my customers, whether they're my tax customers, whether my 501c3 customers, whether my training customers,
any holiday, birthday.
You would be amazed. The other customers was asking did Shandra send you a Christmas card? I'm like, a Christmas card? But that just goes to show you, people love when you pay attention to them as your customer.
Right. Yeah. And it's building that connection and that relationship. And they may not need your service now because you probably got them to where they need to be, but you never know when they'll need you again or when they're going to refer somebody.
Yes. Big thing, not to get on churches. We ain't
just comes up.
Right, but this is something that I seen it on Facebook. Did you have your pastor checked on you? That was a big deal. Have your pastor checked on you? Have you heard from? You haven't been in a church, and I can honestly say, and I have my roots
for money.
Right, I have my roots in our community, and my pastor always be my pastor. But right now, my legal membership is at Christ Fellowship, and God is my witness. One day I was in the office, probably one of my because it was 2 weeks ago, one of my mental days, I wasn't having a good day. I'm like, oh my gosh, whatever. And the phone rang, and I normally wouldn't have answered the phone, but I answered, and she was like, hi, is this Shandra? I'm thinking like, oh, not another telemarketer. And I was like, yes, I did. And she was like, I was like, yes. She was like, hi, this is so-and-so from Christ Fellowship. And we just wanted to check on you and how your family's
Girl, they
doing.
don't play.
Is anything we can pray for? You know, how are you? You're okay? Are you safe? You know, such and so forth. And I just told her, I said, you know what? To be honest, I'm about in tears. I said, because today was a rough day for me. And I just told her, I said, you know, I'm a business owner and things are not like I would hope them to be. I said, they're not terrible. Don't get me wrong, but they're not what I would hope them to be. And I said, if anything you pray for, first of all, salvation from my family, you know, and I gave her my little prayer list and she was writing it down. And then when we finished, she says, oh, you know, if you ever need anything, you can call this number. And so I texted her back. I said, I'm not for sure if this is a text number, but I want to say thank you. I said, thank you for checking, because what happens in life, people just get busy. Once again, going back to, you know, the norm, or you have an excuse as to why you're not following up or whatever. But do you know how that made me feel? I mean, I'm like here, and then to get a call to say, how can I pray for you? Are you okay? And then that wasn't it. She turned around and sent a handwritten letter and said, yes. So it was something. I teach that when I do the grant writing class. Send a handwritten thank you letter to your donors and to your funders, because it saves a lot. But your customer service experience, I'm telling you, some of the in those Christmas cards, I mean, those things maybe cost me $2, and then with postage, maybe another $100. So and that goes back to thought count. The whole customer base, and I think I may have spent $300. Oh, that's a big difference. Right. That's a big difference.
And I went to a church, you know, because I visit different churches because I work with them a lot. I, you know, gave a donation, gave offering. Girl, they sent me a gift. They were like, they emailed me, thank you for coming, thank you for giving. Right. Reply to the mailing address. We want to send you a gift. And I was like, Lord have mercy, y'all gonna give me a gift that never happened. You know. So when we talk about just in my Facebook group, I also asked my people, I was like, what have you done for your customers? What can you do for them, especially during the COVID period? How can you reach out to them? How can you check on them? And it doesn't have to cost a whole lot of money. And this brings me to my next point is digital retention. We can't go into this like I want to, but you have to retain people, because when we talk about scaling your business, it has to be more than just your quick sale, just your quick, what I'm going to sell this weekend. You're thinking long term, because eventually you want your business to be able to run and function without you having to be there every day.
Right. You want to transition from worker to manager. That's what you want to transition. The manager does not do the work, and not someone you got slaves or anything like that. It's just a way of growth. You can't oversee something when you're in it. You cannot oversee it when you're in it, and that's how mistakes happen. That's how you get over inundated, and you start, you know, and it. Trust me, it's hard to delegate because you got to trust people, and everybody ain't trustworthy either, you know. So there's many different moving parts, but the goal is, you know, as we're coming to the end of April, which is the second quarter, we still got a whole lot of living to do in 2020. We don't want people to.
2020 is not over. It's not cursing your 2020.
So we got to sit out a whole lot of living. Right. You know, people's always, you know, I know a lot of people have experienced a lot of different, some of the stuff I read on my heart aches, because I'm like, good gracious God, you know, how can I, you know, accept more? And you just want to be able to, you know, know that this information is not an aha, you know, because none of us are there. We're all a work in progress. I agree. But when I start looking at where I could grow in, this is what I came up with. This is what I'm saying. I know I need help, because if I don't get the help, I'm not going to be around. It's just simple. So I gotta make time for it. What you say, Tiff?
I said that one more time. That was good.
Yeah, I said if I don't get the help, I want to be around. I got to do systems and technology. There is, because I'm here, and it's almost like a mosquito, you know, in water. And I know y'all be thinking I'm from the country. So mosquitoes circle around water. That's why if it rains, I hate it, because they be right there waiting, and they're not looking to go anywhere. They're not. They're looking to stay right there in that incested water. and grow right there. Whereas if you're looking to be around and thrive and come back to the, the sunny skies, it's gonna take, wherever area you need growing in. Only you can answer that. I just know for me, it's systems and technology.
Right. I agree. So does anyone have a question? We have time probably for one question, but we can always chat with you all in the comment box. We hope this helps. We want you all to be consistent, to have that courage, to provide customer service, and think about how can you make the buyer experience? How can you make the customer experience much easier? And it might come from reading a book, attending a webinar. Shandra has workshops all the time. I have workshops all the time. How can you make it easier for your buyer? Because you want them to come back. You want them to tell other people about you, and that will bring your marketing dollars down.
Yes.
You might not market less, but you may not have to invest as much because people are becoming marketing tools for you. And that's kind of what we, where we all want to be. You want your business to grow and thrive. Think about why you start. So does anybody have a question? Carla says delegate. Absolutely, Carla, you are so right. Delegate. That's very important.
It's hard, Carla, because me, as soon as you do it, then you end up having to, part ways with them because things did not work out, or they thought they was the boss, and all those kinds of things. So there are levels. There's levels.
So Pastor Gail says Christ Fellowship has a staff that makes it easier to do. So that's a whole good old conversation about the staff and the money. That's a grassroots question.
Right, but Pastor Gail, thank you for saying that. They have staff and volunteers. They have staff and volunteers. Yeah. And I'm not, the God help me. That's why I said I'm not trying to, because listen, give me a Hammond organ, girl. I was saying today, I said, boy, I don't know who church I'm gonna go back to when they let us open.
So silly.
Because God, but I thank God I got my own praise. But anyway, so there's a lot of different things. It's a lot of different factors. But because I do church, consulting, we can't say that's why they did it, because just as many volunteers and staff they have just that many more members too. Because you think they have 10 campuses and how many people at each campus. So staffing and volunteers but it's just an area for us to take a look at to say, what, this was something that we could have done differently. So it's not about,
great training, and not just CF, but establishments that have volunteers, they have volunteer training.
Yes.
So when you come on board, you tell us how much you can do. Right, because we don't want to overexhaust you or stretch you.
Now, Pastor Gail, I'm sorry. Let me answer. I wasn't talking about you, negative Pastor. I know you get it. Listen, if I ever got to another church, y'all would be my next church, because her and her husband are just amazing. When I tell you, and they do more. I would ask them to get on them, because I tell them all the time they do way more in our community than most people ever think about. I work with them on a project, and I'm reading, and I'm like. And we're gonna talk about that later, how marketing, it really helps people. And we like to think if we're telling people what we're doing, we're stealing God's glory, and that's not it. But her and her husband, I'm telling you when I say something, it's pretty much on point. Her and her husband, you would not believe the work that they do in the community, and you really don't know, because one, they don't tell it. Number two, it's just they do. But reality is they do need to tell it more so they can get more resources to do more. But we'll talk about that on another live, because that's a big myth that we have in our church. Right, it's a big myth. It's a big myth.
I want to do a whole series for the church.
Yeah, it's a big myth they have that, because you share what you're doing, that you're stealing God's glory and stuff like that. But what happens, and people don't really understand, people don't think they're hungry people in Palm Beach County.
Right.
People don't think that people are living on $10 an hour, taking care of a whole house.
Right.
And so when you're telling people, that people don't think that people are not graduated from high school, they think everybody got a diploma.
Yeah.
I'm Tiffany. People think I'm crazy when I say, but they don't. And so if you do not create an awareness of what you're doing, people won't know that it's more resources that are needed to carry those types of
and then we
services
can start
out.
to collaborate the right way.
Yes. Yes, and so I'm a big talker. When people say, I said, take off your motive radar. How you know what a person motive is when they share stuff? You know, you ain't gotta tell what you do for people. Just do it. No, sometimes you do need to tell, because people that have the resources that can help you do it more are not aware of it. They're just oblivious to what.
And that's that nonprofit side of you too. You do that paperwork and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's look at Era's question. She says, "How can you communicate how can you improve your communication?" So for me, Tiara, I do a lot of reading and podcast listening. So think of who's like a leader in your industry, or just somebody who can pour into you. When you start reading the books, you learn the vocabulary, the term, the lingo of your industry. You hear how they communicate with their customers, and then just communicate with people more. I noticed that people don't like email or texting because they just want to talk, because they're not great communicators. And I noticed a lot too, everybody's at different educational levels, but you practice by doing it. And remember, from a social media standpoint, when you post online, you are posting as your company, not an individual.
Right.
So speak in that way.
Right. I will put a disclaimer out there sometimes when I want to do something fun. Listen, it has nothing to do with my business.
Oh yeah. Because we're human.
Yes. Right. So I was like, listen, this has nothing to do with my business, but I just want to say this.
Right.
It's digital
customer. Yeah.
Well, I would say the customer. You have to consider the customer, Janice, because it's important in the grant writing world. I would say handwritten, because and even one of Christ Fellowship's things said, I was sweeping, but I was listening. I wanted to say, give me something. I want to talk about it. Money is about relationships. Okay. Whether you spend it or giving it. It is about relationships and donors. And I'm talking about nonprofit. I'm going to hop onto the for-profit. Donors, you will court a donor for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before you see a substantial gift. Yes. That's why they have whole departments of resource development at United Way. Why? Because most of their business is about cultivating donors. Community foundation, your large foundations in this area. And even, God bless her soul, Countess DeHeron, you see her name over all these different buildings. It would take people years to get to that point where she would give them money to build a building in her honor. You don't just wake up and say, I want to build a building. No, it's about relationships. And so you really have to be careful in the nonprofit arena. And for your for-profit customer base, it really depends on the customer. You have to know your customers. I'm not saying it's not good as a cost efficiency and a systems process, but me personally, I really value my CPA sending me a Christmas card. I do. I value that. I know every single year they're going to send me a Christmas card. Now, whether I, give them more business or not, rarely, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but it really depends on the customer, and you have to know your customer base. Whereas your new age individuals like that email because they're not going to read it. I'm from the country. I like my little, they be like, all right, thumbs up. That's what's up,
And then for your younger generation, you might want to do, text message, text message, So it's about knowing the customer, but the more you work with people and the more you do it, the more you practice it, you'll just learn, And I think that's one thing, we stay stagnant because we just want to do like the same old thing. Or when people start a business, they don't understand that you become a learner. Nobody goes to school to learn how to do this.
Yes.
If you major in business management or business administration in college, you won't learn the real stuff.
Right, exactly. And the thing about it is, and I have learned, sometimes I get in trouble. Somebody's outside, stand by on a line. So I sometimes get in trouble because I'm so transparent. But I
Yeah.
love the fact that people will inbox me or text me later and say, thank you. Thank you for being
Right.
genuine. Thank you for sharing your book. Can I be real? I had someone to donate to, she said to me, but it's going to the business loan fund because of my live I shared last night about feeling, like, God, did I really hear you? And she said to me, she says, I've allowed pride not to help me to get to where I need to be. And she seed it. She said, I'm giving this to you. I'm like, no, give it to the organization. But yeah, and so we don't know who we're helping on the other
Right.
end to say, you know what, I'm jacked up from the floor up, but I'm learning. And I want to share. It's almost like I hate to say this, but it's almost like a wino. Winos would share their stuff with you. They were like, you want something? Like, that's okay. But they'll drink out
That
the
is
same
so true.
bottle without
That
even
is so true.
hesitating. They will. They will. And
Right.
so from that point, my thing is when I come on, and I have stopped doing it because I was so tired of hearing, oh, she thinks she's all that. Oh, she thinks. And I'm like, I don't care about that anymore. I have to do what I'm called to do. And that's share
Right.
what I've learned and
Do
what I
what you're
know with
called to do.
people to help
That's
them. They
good.
don't make the same mistakes or their growth process. And we all still got to go through our little storms, but their growth process could be a little bit faster because I share what I've gone through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we are excited that you all tuned in. Has this been helpful? If
I
so,
hope
comment
so.
yes. Let us know. If and also don't forget, share this out, like and share this out. When we look at the shares, we're going to inbox you, the listing of everything that we cover. I'm going to give you specific tools. When I talk about systems and things like that, I'm going to share with you some of the same softwares that I use and programs that I use to, systemize my business so that everything is a steady workflow. We thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure that you connect with us on social media. Shandra, what's your Instagram? Shandra Stringer, right?
Yes, my Instagram is Shandra Stringer.
And
I
like
know all of that
Grassroots
about
Consulting.
branding your company and all that kind of stuff.
You so silly, girl. And follow me on Instagram at I am Tiff Marshall. Thank you so much, Natalie. She said it has been great information. Grace said it has been great. Hey, Miss Liz says great. Sandra said great golden nuggets. So we are happy to help y'all. This is what we're here for. We're using Facebook to do it. We're going to build profitable, legit businesses that our children can take over or somebody else can take over that they, whatever it may be. But we want to do it the right way to lay down that strong foundation.
Absolutely.
So thanks
Thank
for
you,
tuning in,
guys.
y'all, and enjoy the rest of your day.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.